everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got the final game of this two-game series between the Minnesota Twins and Toronto Blue Jays. Leading it all for the Twins, playing second base is Knobloch, batting second, playing first is Carew, batting third, playing center field is Puckett, batting fourth, playing third base is Killebrew, batting fifth, playing left field is Heisel, batting sixth, playing right field is Hunter, batting seventh, doing the catching is Beatty, batting eighth, playing shortstop is Versells, and batting ninth on the mound is Pascual. And for the hometown Toronto Blue Jays, leading off playing second base is Roberto Alomar, batting second, playing shortstop is Fernandez, batting third, playing first base is Olerud, batting fourth, playing third base is Guerrera, batting fifth, playing right field is Barfield, batting sixth, playing center field is Wells, batting seventh, playing left field is Stewart, batting eighth, doing the catching is Witt, and on the mound doing the pitching, batting ninth is Key. Let's get down here to the stadium and get this game started. And Chuck Knobloch will lead it off, batting 600, no homers and no RBIs, going up against Jimmy Key in 1987. He was 17-8 with a 2.76 ERA. And here's the pitch to Knobloch. And that's going to be a base on balls. Chuck gets on base. So Knobloch down at first. We're going to do a little hit and run here with Rod Carew. Carew's batting 500 on the year, no homers and one RBI. And that's going to be against the lefty, a 19 and 11. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Stewart makes the catch for out number one. And that brings up Kirby Puckett now. And Kirby's batting 200 on the year, no homers and two RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty, an 11. And that's going to be a base hit in left field. Knobloch will stop at second. We got first and second and one out. The Twins are pounding Key already, just like they did to old Dave in game number one. They won 10-0. Now you got Killebrew up looking for his first base hit of the year. He's 0 for 5. And he's going to be 0 for 6 as that's a swing and a miss. A big strikeout by Jimmy Key for out number 2. Larry Heisel's up now. Larry's first at bat of the year. And in 1977, he batted .302, 28 homers, 119 RBIs. And that's going to be a team here. Let's see. Excuse me. 27, 32, 36. And so we fielding column 1. Wild pitch. Wild pitch 2. Yep, that's a wild pitch. So Key uncorks one. Now we got second and third. And 2 outs. And a 1-0 pitch to Larry. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be, comes back and strikes Larry out. So 2 big strikeouts by Key. Gets out of the mess with nobody scoring. We get to the bottom of the first, Twins nothing. Blue Jays coming to bat. Alomar, Fernandez, and Olerud do up here. And in 1993, Roberto batted .326 with 17 homers and 93 RBIs. And this is Pascual's 1963 season. He pitched 21-9 record with a 2.46 ERA. He used to pitch dynamite, and he gets a hold of this. See what Roberto does with it. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. Lead-off double here by the Blue Jays. Turn down at second and nobody out. And we got Fernandez up. And Tony in 1987 batted .322 with 5 homers and 67 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. And Pascual, first 2 batters getting aboard, and Toronto is making noise now. John Oldroyd's up now. And John in 1993 batted .363, 24 homers and 107 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third short. And that's going to be the old 6-4-3 double play. So John grounds into the double play. Now there's 2 outs. And Pascual, the pitcher's best friend, might have just helped him get out of this mess. Under the runner down to third. And 2 outs for Guerrero. Guerrero in 2021 batted .311, 48 homers and 111 RBIs. And this is Junior. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And Pascual gets the first 2 on, pitches out of that with the pitcher's best friend double play. And we get to the top of the second. It's nothing. We got Hunter, Beatty, and Vercel due up here. Troy Hunter batted .289 with 29 homers and 94 RBIs in 2002. And you can see the team comparisons there. Minnesota's 1-0, struck out 11, walked 1, 8 doubles, and 1 triple. Toronto's 0-1, 18 strikeouts, 6 walks, 2 doubles, and no triples. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Barfield's got it. Out number 1. And Beatty shows up to the plate. And in 1963, he batted .285, 26 homers, and 84 RBIs. That's going to be a fly ball out to Vernon in center for out number 2. And Vercel is up now. And in 1965, he batted .273 with 19 homers and 77 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Alomar. And the Twins go quietly 1-2-3. To the bottom of the second we go. You got Barfield, Wells, and Stewart due up. Jesse in 1986 batted .289, 40 homers, and 108 RBIs. That's going to be a fly ball out the left. There he makes the catch for out number 1. And Vernon Wells is up now. He's batting .250 on the year. No homers, no RBIs. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. So Vernon gets aboard here with a 1-out base hit. Brings up Stewart. And Stewart batted .319 with 21 homers and 69 RBIs in 2000. Here's the pitch to Shannon. And that's going to be a wow pitch 3. Yep, that's going to be a wild pitch by Pascual. Now you got a runner down at second and 1 out. 1-0 pitch here to Shannon. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. And that's going to be a single. And it's going to score the runner from second. So an RBI single. And the Toronto Blue Jays take a 1-0 lead here in the second. And Ernie Witt comes to the plate now with the runner down at first, up 1-0 with 1 out. Ian Witt in 1987 batted 269, 19 homers, and 75 RBIs. And he gets a hold of this, folks. And he drives that ball into the right field down the first base line. Troy Hunter out there has got one hell of an arm. Let's see what happens here. If he's going to hold or not with one out. And he's going to hold at third, so that's going to be a double in the right. And Stewart's going to hold. Probably should have sent him with Key coming up. But World got Key try to drive him in here. Should have probably sent him. Wasn't thinking about the pitcher coming up. My mistake here. So you got second and third and Jimmy Keys up. Here's the pitch to Keys. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Keys strikes out. So now we're back to the top of the order. And I'll take a 2-out hit by Alomar to increase this lead. Alomar did double back in the first. And that's going to be a base on balls. Pascual loads the bases up for Tony Fernandez. And Tony come up with a big hit here. He walked back in the first. And that's going to be against the lefty. 20 on and 10. Yeah. And that is going to be a base hit in the center, in the left field. Witt, even with his speed, should score from second here. Let's check. That will be a 64. So Witt will score with no throw. Let's see here. And Alomar may stop at second here. Yeah, and Alomar's going to stop at second. So that's a 2 RBI double. Single. And we got first and second now. That's a 3-0 Toronto lead here. John Holmes up. John grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. And that's going to be another base on balls. Pascual's walking himself into a heap of trouble. Guerrero comes up now with the bases loaded again. Already down 3-0. Guerrero struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Knobloch will throw over to first. And that'll end the inning. Toronto scores 3, takes a 3-0 lead into the top of the third. They left the bases loaded. Let's see if that comes back to bite them in the butt. You got Pascual due up, and then back to the top of the order in Knobloch and Carrillo. Pascual batted .250 and no homers and 12 RBIs in 1963. So not a bad hitting pitcher. Got to be careful. Excuse me. Alrighty, sorry about that. Life gets in the way. Yeah, no texting and I'm darn streaming. Well, that was a phone call. Yeah, sometimes life gets in the way. Alrighty, so here we go with Pascual up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to John at first. And that'll be out number one. Pascual grounds out. And we're back to the top of the order now. And Chuck Knobloch. And Chuck, he walked his first time up. And that's going to be a rare play. Let's see here, 25 and 36. That's going to be a ground ball down the second. Let's see what happens here. 43. And that's just going to be a routine play for Alomar. Nice play down there. Fires over the first, robs Knobloch of a hit. Now there's 2 outs. And Rod Carew comes to the plate. And Carew is 0 for 1. He flew out the left in the first. And that's going to be a 18. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Keys up with it, tosses it over to John. And that's a 1-2-3. Top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third. 3-0 Toronto. You got Barfield, Wills, and Stewart due up. And, excuse me, Barfield flew out the left back in the second. And that's going to be a rare play. 40 and a 35. And that's going to be hit out to center field with Kirby out there. And I was hit out to center field. That's just going to be a fly ball. Kirby makes a nice play, catches it, robs Jesse of a base hit. So now there's 2 down, 1 down, nobody on for Vernon. And Vernon's, he singled back in the second, came around to score. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. That's Pascual's 3rd strikeout to go with his 3 walks. And now Stewart's up. He had an RBI single his first time up. Came around the score. And that's going to be 20. 16. That's going to be a base hit. Stewart gets an infield hit. So Stewart's aboard for the 2nd time today. Ernie Witt comes to the plate. And Ernie had a double his first time up. That's going to be a base on balls. Pascual keeps walking. He's a walker. Brings up Key. Might not have been a bad play for him. 1st and 2nd now with Jimmy Key up. Like that start. But here's the pitch to Jimmy. He struck out his first time up. And that's what he does this time. So Pascual gets out of the inning with nobody scoring. We go to the top of the 4th. We got the big boys due up here for the Twins, Puckett, Killebrew, and Larry. Let's see what they can make some noise here in the 4th. Puckett's single back in the 1st. And that's going to be a single in the right field. Puckett's aboard again here. Nobody out. You can see that team comparisons. The Twins scored 10 runs in that first game, stolen the base, and Toronto didn't do anything. No runs, no homers, no stolen bases, and didn't get caught. Killebrew struck out his first time up. Still looking for his first hit, and that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes. See if he can take advantage of this 2-0 pitch. And he does, folks. That ball is high. That ball is far. Killebrew's first hit of the year is going to be a 2-run shot and puts the Twins down by 1. How about that? It's 3-2. there. He steps up to the plate. He struck out his first time up. And that's going to be another swing and a miss. Key settles down after the homer. Gets the strikeout. And Hunter comes to the plate now. He flew out to right back in the second. And that's going to be a base on balls. And now all of a sudden, Key's losing a little bit of control here. It's his second walk of the game. And Earl Beatty comes to the plate. He flew out the center back in the second. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Barfield. This time he's got room out there and makes the catch for out number 2. So can Versailles keep this inning alive? He grounded out to second. Back in the second. And that's going to be popped up down the third. And that'll end the inning, but not until Killebrew hits the 2-run shot. Makes this a 3-2 game as Al Red Sox joins us. Check out his great channel and Dave Gardner's great channel, folks. We got the top of the order due up here in the bottom of the 4th for the Jays. We got Alomar, Fernandez, and Odelrud. Roberto is 1 for 1. He's doubled and walked in this game. Hell of a start to the year, and that's going to be a ground ball down the third. And Killebrew, after hitting that home run, makes an error here. That's an E5. And Alomar is on base again. And brings up Tony Fernandez. Tony's 1 for 1. He had a 2 RBI single back in the second. And let's see here. Here's the pitch to Tony. And that's going to be the old dreaded double play. That's a tailor-made double play ball down the short. That's going to be the old 6-4-3. Pascual gets another double play. And that wipes out the runner. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for John. And John's 0 for 1. He hit into a double play back in the first and walked in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. That'll end the inning. We go to the top of the 5th. Still a 1-run lead for the Blue Jays. See Toronto's upcoming schedule. They stay here at home and play Texas for 3 games, and then they go on the road to play the Twins. You got Pascual due up, and then we'll go back to the top of the order with Knobloch and Carrill. Pascual grounded out to first his first time up. And that's going to be a rare play. 52 and 36. And that's going to be a foul ball, strike 1. Now the 1-0 pitch, Pascual. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. I told you, he's not a bad hitting pitcher. We don't need no stinking DH. He says he can help his own cause. That's going to be a leadoff double by Pascual in the right field. So the time runs in scoring position. There's nobody out in the top of the order coming up. And Chuck Knobloch's off to a nice start this year. He's 0-1 today. He walked back in the first. He's batting .500 on the year. And that's going to be a base on balls. Knobloch's aboard. First 2 batters get aboard here. Here comes Rod Carew, first and second, and nobody out. Carew's 0 for 2 today. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a 19 on 9. That is going to be popped up an infield fly. Rules in effect. Down the third. That'll be out number 1. And that brings up Kirby Puckett now. Runners on first and second, and he's 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles in the game back in the first and fourth. Came around the score in the fourth. And that's going to be a 11. And that's going to be another pop-up. And again, the infield fly rule. This one down the third again. So 2 pop-ups, just missing it. Jimmy Key might get out of this with no damage. Here comes Killebrew, who homered back in the fourth, a 2-run shot. Can he do it again, folks? Not this time. That's going to be a high pop up in the shallow left field. Tony Fernandez drifts back, makes the catch for out number 3. And he pitches around the trouble there. Gets out of that with nobody scoring. To the bottom of the 5th we go. You got Guerrero, Barfield, and Wills due up here. As Doug Hunt and Philip Reynolds joins us here. Check out Philip Reynolds' great channel, folks. And Guerrero's 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a base on balls. Guerrero walks on down the first. And Jesse Barfield comes to the plate now. Trying to get some insurance runs here. Jesse's 0 for 2. He's flown out to the left and center. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right. Might as well hit it to all 3 fields. All 3 times they made the play. So now there's 1 down. 1 on for Vernon. And Vernon's 1 for 2. He singled back in the 2nd. Came around the score. Struck out in the 3rd. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. And that's going to be a triple down the left field. And that's going to score Guerrero. And we got us a 4-2 ball game. And now you got a runner down at 3rd. That's going to force the Twins to bring the infield in. Can't afford to give up any more runs, down by 2. With Stewart's up. Stewart's has a perfect game going. 2 singles. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI. Came around the score back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a team here. That's 2, 6, 7, 8, 29. Fielding 1. That's going to be a fly ball out the left field for fly ball out the left field. Let's see if Vern will try to score here. That'll be a 43. Larry's got a good arm out there. Who's up after Stewart? Ernie is. He's going to try to score here. 28. That'll be a 54 lower. So he's going to try to tag up here. And he makes it. That's a sacrifice fly out the left field by Shannon. And that'll be out number 2, but they increased the lead to 5-3. Now Ernie gets up with nobody on and 2 outs. And Witt is a perfect 1 for 1. He's doubled and walked. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Killebrew. He fires over the first. That'll do it. But Toronto adds 2 big insurance runners. Hunter joins us here this afternoon. Check out his channel, folks. And we go to the top of the 6th, a 5-2 ball game. You got Heisel, Hunter, and Beatty, the 2 H's due up here. Larry's 0 for 2. He struck out both times. And that's going to be, finally gets the wood on the ball, but hits it down the short. Tony's up with it. Fires over to John for out number 1. And now the other H boy, as Hunter comes to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He walked back in the 4th. See the team comparisons. The Twins are batting .370 with a .383 on base, slugging .587 and an OPS of .970. Where Toronto's batting a .194 on base of .265, slugging .226 and an OPS of .491. Here's the pitch to Hunter with 1 out, nobody on. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Troy out for out number 2. And Earl Beatty comes to the plate now. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out to center and right. And that's our ground ball down the short, just like we started the inning, and that'll do it. 1, 2, 3 goes the Twins. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Bottom part of the order due up. Got Jimmy Key, and then it'll flip over to Alomar and Fernandez. And Jimmy's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. And, excuse me, make that a hat trick. He struck out all 3 times. Yeah, I'll be watching the 500 today, Hunter. Yep. And Alomar's 1 for 2. He has doubled, walked, and reached on an error. He's been on base all 3 times. And that's going to be a base on ball, so make it all 4 times. Alomar's been on base. Tony Fernandez is up now. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs on the day. He did ground into a double play back in the 4th, though. And that's going to be against the righty. 16 on a 9. And that's going to be an infield hit. Tony Fernandez gets aboard here, folks. So now you got 1st and 2nd and 1 out for John Olerud. The Twins can't afford to give up any more runs. Down by 3 here in the 6th, bottom of the 6th. Looking for a double play. Olerud has hit into 1 back in the 1st. Here's the pitch to John. And not this time. That's going to be a 13 against a 8. And that's a ground ball down the 2nd. They're about to pop up down the 2nd. Infield fly rule in effect. And that'll be out number 2. And now Guerrero comes to the plate. Oh, Vladimir is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out, and he did walk and come around the score in the 5th. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Hunter makes the catch. And Pascual gets out of the 6th with nobody scoring to the top of the 7th. We go. And we'll probably have a pitch hitter for Pascual. You got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Twins. Versells, Pascual, and then back to Knobloch. And Versells is 0 for 2, grounded out and popped up. And he gets a hold of this one. See where this lands at. Down by 3. They need base runners, and that's going to be a double in the right field. Definitely going to have a pitch hitter now for Pascual with a runner down at 2nd and nobody out. So he'll go 6 innings here. So he's going to come off the bench. And Gary Gaetti's going to come off the bench, I believe. Yeah, Gary Gaetti's going to come off the bench. Pitch hit for Pascual. And Gary in 1988 batted .301 with 28 homers and 88 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. Brings the tying run to the plate, folks. The Twins got what they want. Nobody out. 1st and 2nd, Chuck Knobloch's 0 for 1. He's walked twice in this game. Here's the pitch to Chuck. And he gets a hold of this. Here we go. These Twins got one hell of a lineup. And that ball is blasted. Let's see how far this ball is going to go into the night here, folks. And you can kiss it goodbye. Chuck Knobloch turns on this and ties this ball game up. It is 5-5. Jimmy Key's struggling here in the 7th. Out in a tie ball game. And that'll get the bullpen up now in a hurry. As Key was breezing through 6 innings now. Tie ball game. He's got Carew, Killebrew, Puckett, and Killebrew due up now. Carew's 0 for 3. He's flown out, grounded out, and popped up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Barfield for out number 1. So Key settles down after the homer. And Kirby Puckett comes up. He's 2 for 3. He has 2 singles in the game. Came around the score in the 4th. And that's going to be another fly ball out the bar field. 2 down now. Here comes Killebrew, who hit a 2-run shot back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. And that's going to be against the lefty. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Killebrew gets on base for the 2nd time today. So go ahead run down at first. And Larry's up. He's 0 for 3. He struck out twice and grounded out. And he gets him again. He gets the hat trick. But the 3-run homer by Apba makes it a 5-5 game as we go to the 7th inning stretch. What do we got here? Righties all coming up. Yep. And Doug Corbett's going to come out of the bullpen, I believe. So Corbett will come out of the bullpen here to pitch. Trying to keep this a tie ball game. Let's see what year this is for Corbett. In 1980, he was 8-6 with 23 saves and a 1.98 ERA. He'll be facing Barfield, Wills, and Stewart. Jesse's 0 for 3. He's flown out to every outfield, left, right, and center. And not this time. That's going to find the gap. Jesse's aboard here with a lead-off double. So to go ahead run down at second, Vernon Wells is up now. And Vernon's 2 for 3 rather. He's got a triple and an RBI. And Vernon drive Jesse in from second and break this tie. And that's going to be a big swing and a miss. Corbett with a big strike out there. 1 down. And now you got Stewart up. And Stewart is 2 for 2. He's got a sacrifice fly and an RBI single. Here's the pitch to Shannon, and that's going to be a ground ball down the second. It might be a pop-up. It's going to be a pop-up down the third. Killebrew makes the catch for out number 2. So the leadoff double still down there at second. And Ernie comes to the plate. And Ernie is 1 for 2. He doubled back in the second, came around to score. And he gets a hold of this, folks. That ball is out of here. Hunter just turns around and launches this one, leave the yard. And all of a sudden now, the Blue Jays take a 2-run lead now. It's 7-5. They're going to pitch it here for Key after giving up those 3 runs in the 7th. That'll be it for Jimmy Key. See who comes off the bench here. And Carlos Delgado is going to come off the bench. See if he can add to this 2-run lead. Carlos is looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 on the year. Here's the pitch to him. And that's a swing and a miss. Doug settles down after the homer. Gets the final out. But a 2-run shot by Ernie Witt makes it 7-5 as we go to the top of the 8th. So he's going to come out of the pen here. And B.J. Ryan's going to come out of here and try to nail this game down for the Blue Jays. So here comes B.J. out of the bullpen. This is one hell of a year for B.J. Ryan in 2006. He was 2-2 with a 38 saves and a 1.37 ERA, folks. Just look at that. AB pitcher, 25 on the master game. KYH, awesome card. He's got Hunter, Beatty, and Vercel due up here in the 8th. Troy's 0 for 2. He did walk back in the 4th. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes him out for out number 1. Here comes Earl Beatty up now. And Beatty's 0 for 3. He's flown out twice and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the junior at 3rd. He fires over the 1st for out number 2. And Vercel is up now. He's 1 for 3. He doubled and came around the score in the 7th. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out 2 of the 3. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, a 7-5 ball game. Top of the order due up here. Face Corbett. You got Alomar, Fernandez, and Olerud. Roberto's 1 for 2, but he's been on base all 4 times. He's walked twice and reached on an error. And that's going to be another hit. Roberto Alomar is on fire. He's on base again for the 5th time today, folks. That brings up Tony now. Tony's having a hell of a game. He's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Runner down at first. They would like to get some more insurance runs. Here's the pitch to Tony. And that's going to be against righty, 19. And that's going to be a nice play down at short by Vercel. Get the runner out at 2nd. Can't get Tony's with his speed. That'll be a 6-4 put out. Now Tony's down at 1st with 1 out. And John Olerud is up. And John's 0 for 3. He did walk back in the 2nd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Doug strikes him out for out number 2. And here comes junior old Vladimir. He's 0 for 3. He did walk and came around the score in the 5th. And that's going to be a ground ball down the knob block. He fires over the 1st. And Doug gets out of the inning with nobody scoring. We go to the top of the 9th. Twins down by 2. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Corbett. And then we'll have the top of the order due up here. Let's see who's going to pitch hit. We need somebody to get on base here against Ryan. Dozier's going to come off the bench. See if he can get aboard here. Brian Dozier comes off the bench. And in 2016, he batted .268 with 42 homers and 99 RBIs. And that's going to be against the lefty. 1-3. That is going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Ryan's got it. He fires over the 1st for out number 1. Now back to the top of the order and Chuck Knobloch. Can Chuck get aboard here? They need 1 runner to get on board to bring the tying run to the plate. Chuck hit that 3-run homer to tie the game up in the 7th. And that's going to be a ground ball down to short. Tony Fernandez, one of the better fielding shortstops, muffs that one, folks. Holds on to it, but Knobloch's aboard. And the tying run comes to the plate and Rod Carew. So 1 out, a runner on at 1st. Carew's 0 for 4. Flown out twice, grounded out, and popped up. And of course, he gets a hold of this. Ryan can't believe it. And that ball is blasted into right field. And let's see here. Knobloch's not going nowhere on Barfield's arm. Don't want to get thrown out. His run means nothing. So that's going to be a double in the right field, second and third. One out, and Puckett's up. They'll play back. They'll give up that one run for an out. Big runs down there at second. So Kirby's up. He's 2 for 4. He has 2 singles. He scored back in the fourth. So can Kirby come up with a big hit? A single may score Carew. Here's the pitch to Kirby. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And that's going to be deep enough for the runners to tag up. So both runners tag up. So now there's 2 outs and the time runs down to third, folks. And it is up to Mr. Killebrew. And let's see here. Who's after Killebrew? I think you walk. I think you walk Killebrew. He's already hit a home run. They're going to intentionally walk Killebrew. That brings up Larry. You make Larry beat you here. First and third. And Larry is 0 for 4. He has struck out 3 times and grounded out. Here's the pitch to Larry. And that's going to be a ground ball out in front of the plate. 23 and an 8 should be fielding column 1. And it is. And nice play. A Baltimore chop. Ernie comes up, pounces on it, fires down the first, and that's your ball game, folks. The Blue Jays hang on to win. This is the best pitching job by Ryan. Of course, Tony with that error didn't help him any. Let's take a look at the box score here. Twins are going to be a tough team. So the Blue Jays, 7 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. The Twins, 6 runs, 8 hits and 1 error. Look at that middle of the lineup. Puckett and Killebrew, 2 for 4. You had Knobloch and Killebrew with homers. They were 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Left 8 men on base. In the top of the order, Alomar and Fernandez. Remember, Alomar was on base all 5 times. He had 2 walks and an error. Tony was on 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Then you had Barfield and Wells. Ernie with that big homer. They were 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The Blue Jays was left 9 men on base. Pascual gets a no decision. 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, walked 6, struck out 5. Doug Corbett picks up the loss. 2 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 runs, struck out 3, and gave up the homer to Ernie. Jimmy Key gets the win. He goes 7 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, walked 4, struck out 5, gave up 2 homers. Ryan comes in, made it a little interesting in the 9th. 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 unearned run, walked 1, and struck out 2. And now everybody in the American League has played. So let's take a look here at the standings. Got the Yankees leading the American League East by half a game over Baltimore, who's 2-1. You got the Red Sox and Jays are 1-1, a game back, and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays are 1-2, a game and a half back. And in the Central, you got the Tigers a half a game up on the Twins, and Indians both at 1-1. Kansas City 1-2, a game back, and the White Sox are 0-2, a game and a half back. And out west, the Rangers are a game up on Oakland, and the Mariners, they're both 1-1, and the Angels are 0-2, 2 games back. Curtis Granderson with that 800 batting average leading the league. Numerous players with 2 home runs. And Rodriguez and Tomey with 4 RBIs. Of course, the ERA leaders at 0, win leader at 1, and the save leader at 1 right now. And Chuck Knobloch's now leading in the MVP voting, and Jim Palmer in the Cy Young. And the last 2 teams that haven't played here on the channel yet, it's going to be Washington and Pittsburgh. And let's see what the starting pitchers will be for opening day for these guys. First, we'll take a look at the Pirates. See who the starting pitcher is going to be. And Bob Veal will be starting for the Pirates. Let's see who's going to start for the Nationals here. And Strasburg. So it'll be Bob Veal going up against Strasburg. And the last 2 teams that haven't made it on the channel yet. And that'll be everybody has played. I want to thank Hunter for stopping by. Check out his channel. Philip Reynolds, Doug Hunt, Al Red Sox fan, and Dave Garner. Check out all their channels, folks. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders, and on your way out, hit that like button and leave a comment. Till next time, you all have a great day and take care.